Assalamualaikum students. In this video lecture I am going to discuss about chemical bonding and its sixth chapter of first year chemistry. Let's move to first MCQs. An ionic compound A plus B is most likely to be formed when? If we have to form any ionic compound, the ionization energy of first element should have a lower value and the electron affinity of second element should have higher value. In this we can say that the ionization energy of A is low and electron affinity of B is high. Electron affinity of B is high. So its correct option is B1. The number of bonds in nitrogen molecules. In nitrogen there are 3 bonds. So in this case here is 1 sigma and 2 pi bond. So its correct option is also B. Which of the following statement is not correct regarding bonding molecular orbitals? Bonding molecular orbitals possesses less energy than atomic orbital from which they are formed. It is correct one. Bonding molecular orbitals have low electron density between the 2 nuclei. It's wrong statement about bonding molecular orbital, because in this case electronic density is maximum in between the nuclei. Next MCQs. Which of the following molecule has zero dipole moment? BF3 has zero dipole moment. Water has 2 lone pair, so it's a V-shaped molecule. Ammonia has 1 lone pair, it's pyramidal, and CHCl3 has 3 electronegative group attached toward the 3 sides, so it also have some value for dipole moment. Next MCQ. Which of the hydrogen halide has the highest percentage of ionic character? Ionic character is directly proportional to electronegativity difference. In this case HF, fluorine, is the most electronegative element, so HF will have the maximum percentage of ionic character. Which of the following molecule has unpaired electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbital? Oxygen has unpaired electron in anti-bonding molecular orbital. Due to these electrons it is paramagnetic. Which of the following involve ionic bond only? NaCl involves only ionic bonding. Which of the following involve covalent bonding only? CH4. It's organic molecule and in this case we can say that it has covalent bond. Next MCQs. Which of the following molecule has a net dipole moment? CO2 is linear molecule, its dipole moment is 0. CS2 is also linear molecule and its dipole moment is 0. SO2, it's angular, it's bent form, so it has some value for dipole moment. CCl4 is also non-polar and 0 value for dipole moment. H2S has a net dipole moment while BeF2 has 0 dipole moment because H2S is linear while BeF2 is angular. Wrong statement. H2S molecule is angular while BeF2 molecule is linear. So its B option is correct. H2S molecule is angular and BeF2 molecule is linear. Next MCQs. Which of the following ion has larger ionic radius? For ionic radius we have to check the number of shell and the charge on ion. These 2 factors can tell us about the size of an ion. In this case potassium is the larger ion, so it will have larger ionic radius. Which of the following bond is least polar? The bond which have least electronegativity difference will be less polar. In this case D option is correct. NCl is the bond where electronegativity difference is very less. Which one has the least bond angle? Water. We can say that more number of lone pairs are directly inversely proportional to bond angle. If we have greater number of lone pairs, we can say that the bond angle will be low value. In this case, water has two lone pair and its bond angle is 104 degree. Coordinate covalent bond are formed by donation of electron. It is formed by donation of electron. Covalent bond is formed by mutual sharing of electron, and ionic bond is formed by transference of electron. 15 MCQs. Which of the following molecules would be expected to have zero dipole moment? Thallium fluoride TeF6 will have zero dipole moment. Next MCQs. The bond formed between the element of low ionization energy and elements of high electron affinity, it will be ionic bond. It will be ionic bond. The sideways overlap of two p orbital to form a bond is, if two p orbitals overlap by side as, then it will be pi bond. It will be pi bond. Next MCQ. The head overlap of p orbital of two atoms give rise to sigma bond. Head to head overlapping is the sigma bond. Which element would be the most electronegative element with? The element having high ionization energy and high electron affinity will be most electronegative element. In this case, D option is correct. Which element would be the least electronegative element with low ionization energy and low electron affinity? So its correct option is C, low ionization energy and low electron affinity. Next MCQs. Which of the following substances has the least ionic character in its bond? Which of the following have least ionic character in its bonds? It's CCl4. Carbon tetrachloride will have the least ionic character. Which of the following best describes ionization energy? The energy needed to remove the most loosely bound electron from its ground states. A option is correct related to its answer, so we can mark it. Next MCQs. Which one of the following characteristics is not usually attributed to ionic substances? High melting point, its correct answer. Next, deform when struck, it's not attributed to ionic substances, so we can mark option B as a correct for 23rd MCQs. Which of the following bond is a less polar bond? Which of the following bond is less polar bond? In this case, carbon and iodine bond. Carbon and iodine bond is less polar. Polarity is measured by the electronegativity difference. Next MCQs. Which type of orbital hybridization and geometry is used by central atom of NH2? It's sp3 hybridization. Which of the following compounds has most likely been formed by covalent bonding of atom? Covalent bonding of atom, silicon tetrahydride, SiH4. Identify the compound below which has the bond formed by an overlapping of sp and p orbital. In this, the central atom should have sp hybridization and the attaching or overlapping atom should have p orbital. In this case, beryllium chloride can form sp and p orbital overlapping. The most electronegative of these group, first element is, which one will be the most electronegative? As we move down the group, the size of atom increases, and if the size increases, metallic character also increases, and its increase of electropositive character, and the lesser size will have more electronegative value. In this case, lithium will be more electronegative. Lithium will be more electronegative. Next MCQs, the type of bonding in HBr. Which type of bonding is present in HBr? It's polar covalent bond. It's polar covalent bond. Which of the following statement is not correct? Sigma bond is weaker than a pi bond. Sigma bond is stronger than a pi bond. B option is correct. Sigma bond is stronger than a pi bond. So B option is correct. Sorry. First will be the correct option for this MCQs, because the statement is about wrong point. Which of the following statement is not correct? So first statement is not correct. All three statements are correct one. So its correct option is A. Which of the following molecule has a pyramidal structure? Ammonia. NH3 will have pyramidal structure. The bond angle in water is 104.5. 104.5. Next, during the formation of chemical bond, the potential energy of the system decreases and it goes to stability. H2O molecule has two lone pair. So its option C is correct. Ammonia molecule has one lone pair. B option is correct. In NH3, the covalent bond formed are due to S and sp3 overlap. S and sp3 overlap. C option is correct. Which of the following is largest atom? It's strontium, SR. SR is the largest atom among all these. As compared to covalent compounds, ionic compounds generally have high melting and high boiling point. High melting and high boiling point. C option is correct. The attractive forces that holds atom together in a molecule are called. These are actually known as chemical bond. These are known as chemical bond. Which of the following bonds will be formed between alkali metals and halogen? These are mostly covalent bond. Ionic bonds. The bond formed between metals and non-metals are mostly ionic, and the form between similar atoms are mostly covalent bonds. Next MCQs, the bond formed between the atoms by mutual sharing of electron is covalent bond. Mutual sharing of electron is covalent bond. A chemical bond formed between two similar atoms is purely covalent. If atoms are similar, so there will be no electronegativity difference, then we can say that the bond is totally covalent. On the basis of VSEPR model, the geometry of BeCl2 is linear. BeCl2 is linear. On the basis of VSEPR theory, a molecule with 3 bond pair and no lone pair of electron will have the structure trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. The geometry of NH3 on the basis of VSEPR model is trigonal pyramidal. It's trigonal pyramidal. B option is correct. In which of the following theories the hybridization is considered Hybridization is considered to valence bond theory, so its correct option is D1. The angle between three sp2 hybrid orbital is 120. It is 120. When three sp2 hybrid orbitals orientate themselves in one plane, then it will have 120 angle. Next MCQs. The unhybrid p orbital in sp2 hybridization is, it is perpendicular to sp2 orbitals, perpendicular to sp2 hybrid orbitals. Which of the following theories give the idea of delocalization of electron? Its molecular orbital theory. D option is correct one. The tendency of an atom to attract a shared electron pair toward itself is called electronegativity. It's electronegativity. Energy needed to remove an electron from its gaseous atom is called ionization energy. The bond having partial positive and negative charge is, the bond which have partial positive and partial negative charges, it's a polar covalent bond. C option. Next MCQs. The bond formed by the linear overlap of atomic orbitals is, if the atomic orbital overlap by linear ways, then it will form sigma bond, and side by side overlapping forms pi bond. Which of the following element is the most electronegative? According to Pauling's, fluorine has the most electronegative value and it has 4 value, and cesium and francesium has 0.7 electronegativity value. Some covalent compound dissolves in water due to hydrogen bonding. They dissolve in water due to hydrogen bonding. Next MCQs. Which of the following compound will have the lowest boiling point? Which of the following compound has the lowest boiling point? NH3, because it's in the form of gas. Which of the following molecule has a coordinate bond? Ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride has coordinate covalent bond. The half of the distance between the number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital. Its bond order. Bond order. Next MCQs. The bond order for helium molecule is 0. So helium molecule does not exist. The bond order for hydrogen is 1. In this we can say that one hydrogen forms single bond with another hydrogen atom. The bond order in N2 molecule is 3. As we know that one nitrogen forms triple bond with another nitrogen atom, so its bond order is 3. Next MCQs. Which one of the following is diamagnetic? We cannot confirmly say that which one of the following is diamagnetic. We have to draw their diagram. We know that nitrogen, boron and carbon have same energy trend for the orbitals. They have lower py and pz orbital and higher energy of px orbital. Bonding, anti-bonding molecular orbital, and these are also anti-bonding molecular orbital. In case of boron, there are 5 electrons and p orbital has just 1 electron. So here is the single and single. It's paramagnetic molecule. In case of carbon, it becomes diamagnetic. How it becomes diamagnetic? Carbon has 6 electrons, so there are almost 2 electrons in p orbital. So here will be paired electron in bonding molecular orbital. So it's diamagnetic. In case of N2 there are 3 electrons in p orbitals. So first, second, and third. Here will be the pairing in bonding molecular orbitals. So we can say that nitrogen is also diamagnetic. In this case, carbon and nitrogen both are diamagnetic, so we can say that these two will have diamagnetic value. They will weakly repelled by magnetic field. These both options can be corrected. Which one of the following is paramagnetic? A boron is paramagnetic. We have now studied about boron B2 molecule. F2 and N2 both are diamagnetic. Which one of the following ion is diamagnetic? We don't know any charge on the given ions. These are just atoms. Next, 66 MCQs. Pi bond consists of two regions of electron cloud density above the axis and below the axis. Its C option is correct. Sigma bond consists of one region of electron density along the bond axis. A option is correct. The electron cloud density is symmetrical along the bond axis is sigma bond. The electron cloud density is not symmetrical along the bond axis is pi bond, because electron can be above the bond axis or below the bond axis. Covalent bonds are rigid and directional. Non-rigid and directional. Which will be the correct answer? Covalent compounds have rigid and directional bond, so its correct option is A. Due to this property, they show isomerism phenomena. Ionic bonds these are non-rigid and non-directional. C option is correct one. Which one of the following statement is correct regarding the covalent compound? Covalent compound do not exhibit isomerism. It's a wrong statement. Covalent compounds exhibit isomerism. It's correct one. They are soluble in water. They are not completely soluble in water. Covalent compounds are insoluble in non-polar solvents. Covalent compounds are actually soluble in non-polar solvents. Next, the carbon-carbon bond length in ethane. It's 154 picometer. A option is correct. 154 picometer. Carbon-carbon bond length in ethene. It's 133 picometer. Carbon-carbon bond length in ethyne. It's 120 picometer. Next, 76 MCQs. The atomic radii of the element have a general trend of fluctuating periodically throughout the periodic table. Next MCQs. Which of the following atom has the shortest atomic radius? Among all these atoms, fluorine will have the shortest atomic radius, so its correct option is B. The half of the single bond length between two atoms in a molecule is known as covalent radius of an element. Octet rule is not followed in the formation of boron trichloride. C option. Lewis acid do not follow octet rule. Next MCQs. Select the atom with the largest ionization energy in the following atoms. Which will have the largest ionization energy? The atom which have the smallest size will have the largest ionization energy, so its correct option is A. Select the largest atom in the following atoms. In oxygen family, the top member is oxygen, and then sulfur, and below the sulfur is selenium, and below the selenium is Te, tellurium. So its correct option is D. Largest atom will be Te. Which of the following group of elements on the average has the highest ionization energy? Eighth A. Smallest size will have the highest ionization energy. Molecular orbital theory has superiority over the VBT. A option is correct. The bond between hydrogen is weaker than the bond between HCl. Weaker than the bond between HCl. So its correct option is B. In which of the following molecule the value of bond order is maximum? We know that N2 has 3 value, Cl2 has 1 value, and oxygen has also 2 value. So C option is correct on N2. When the S character of hybridized orbital decreases the bond angle. If S character increases, the bond angle increases. Bond angle increases. One of the cause of reaction is that the system attains energy state which is of lower in energy, Next MCQ, the increase in the bond energy of a covalent bond is due to polarity. 89 MCQ, the polarity of a molecule is expressed by dipole moment. We express the polarity of a molecule by dipole moment. The dipole moment of water is 1.85. The water has dipole moment 1.85. Thank you all viewers. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and share my videos to others. It will be really helpful for all of you. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.